Morning to all of you. Now, today we will continue with this first chapter, that is business, trade, and commerce, and we'll start with transport in ancient India. Road as means of communication was very important during those times. The northern roadways route is believed to have stretched from Bengal to Takshila. And the south, we had roads which spread from east to west. So, roadways were well developed during the ancient times. And we also had maritime trade, as I told you earlier, also, which was very important. On Malabar coast, we had Musurist, which had long history of maritime trade, and on Coromandel coast, we had Palikat, which was a major port. So these two that is names, that is Musurist and Palikat, you must remember as one of the major trade ports of India, okay, in the ancient times. Now, what were the things that we were exporting and importing done earlier also? Just doing it now. Exports consist of spice, wheat, sugar, indigo, opium, sesame oil, cotton, parrot, living animals, and also products like skin, fur, horns, tortoise shell, pearls, etc. Likewise, we had import, which included import of horses, animal products, Chinese silk, flax, and linen, wine, gold, silver, etc. Okay, so we had so many exports and imports during the ancient times. Now, what is the position of the Indian economy in 180 to 1991? Between the 1st and the 7th century, India had the largest economy. India controlled one third of world's wealth. So you can see it is so large an economy, and it was therefore known as Swarna Bhumi. But despite all this wealth that we were getting, we were far behind the West. It is evident that in the 18th century, India was far behind the West in technology, innovation, and ideas. The British Empire began to take roots in India in 18th century. Now we became the importers of finished goods and exporters of raw material. So everything was very good till the 7th century, but as the British Empire made us a colony of their empire, from then the stage of prosperity started to decline. So here we have started becoming the importer of whatever finished goods that was made by the Britishers, and we started exporting raw material to the British industries. So we now started to becoming in a bad state of economy. But after independence, we started to reindustrialize. So India begins reindustrialization when, after independence, India adopted centralized planning. It implemented the 5-year plan in 1952. Since then, modern industries, modern technology, scientific institutions, space, nuclear program began. So today, Indian economy is one of the fastest growing economy in the world. So you are knowing that today Indian economy is well known to the world. So we are adopting, the government of India is adopting the policies like Make in India, Skill India, Digital India, foreign trade policy, and it is expected to boost the economy with all these policies. We are especially focusing on Make in India today, okay? So this is how reindustrialization has begun after independence, okay? Now this is the second section of the same chapter, business, trade, and commerce, which we need to know in details, okay? So types of human activities. Human activities when you can be two, that is economic activity or non-economic activity. When you are doing human activities, either you are doing it to earn a living, or you're doing it for that is happiness, psychological sentiments. So human activities can either be economic or it can be non-economic. So what is economic activity? Economic activities are those human activities which are undertaken to earn a living or livelihood or money. Economic activities are concerned with production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. So, either we produce the goods, or we distribute the goods, or consume the goods. All these things which involve money is an economic activity. You can see a clip of this teacher who is teaching in the classroom. So it is an economic activity because for his teaching he will be getting salary. Okay, so a teacher teaches in a classroom, and so it is an economic activity because he is earning a living out of this. So you have various examples here: driver driving a car, teacher teaching in school, shopkeeper selling goods in the shop, doctor earning money by treating his patient. You can just have a look at all these things. Okay, so these are examples of economic activities. So I hope you have seen all the examples here. A publisher publishes book, an ice creams vendor, okay, selling ice cream. So all these things are economic activities. Now, what is non-economic activity? Non-economic activities are those human activities which are undertaken for satisfaction of psychological, emotional, and social needs. So anything that you are doing out of love, sympathy, or concern, patriotism, sentiment, religion, affection. So these are done out of all these psychological needs, okay, emotional needs or social needs, in which you do not expect a return of money. So this is what is non-economic activity. Okay, so these are n number of non-economic activities here. So you can see the non-economic activities: a boy helping a blind woman to cross the road, an old woman going to the temple, production for self-consumption. If you are producing anything for self consumption and not to be sold in the market, that is non economic activity. If you are making Maggie at home for your own consumption, that is non economic activity because you are not selling it elsewhere. However, if the same Maggie is being made in a restaurant and being sold, that is an economic activity because it is being sold, so money is involved. Likewise, teachers teaching his son at home, and then attending a social gathering, doctor treating her daughter. So you can see all these non-economic activity. All of you should just read it as you see the clipping. Okay, so just read it. A person engaged in religious work, a student praying in a temple for good marks, housewife washing clothes for a family. So these are all non-economic activities. I hope it is clear to all of you. So non-economic activities are those human activities which are undertaken for satisfaction of psychological, emotional, social needs. Okay, performed out of love, sympathy, etc. So you can see this clipping. Earlier also I have shown you this clipping. A mother is serving her family. So is she taking any money for that? No. So since she is not earning out of this service that she is giving to the family, so this is a non-economic activity. So let us see the difference between the two. There are four difference. Objective. What is the objective of economic activity? To earn money or to create wealth. What is the objective of non-economic activity? Derive psychological or mental satisfaction. What are we producing, or what is the outcome of economic activity? Production of goods or services. What is the outcome of non-economic activity? The outcome or return of these activities: psychological satisfaction. You get a certain happiness when you do a certain non-economic activity without, not for money. What are the types of economic activity? Business, profession, and employment. So the types are business, profession, and employment. And here the types are religion, social, parental, patriotic activities. Okay, then we are having the examples which we have already done. Okay, Teacher teaching in a school, a student praying in the temple for good marks is non-economic. So you can have a look at this, economic and non-economic. Okay, so next clipping we will just see types of economic activity. Just now I told you what are the types of economic activities: business, profession and employment. So these three are the types of economic activities. Okay, so you have already heard these terms, but today we will define them. Okay, so you can see the difference: business, when a person is doing work. Okay, profession of like a doctor, like a teacher, like a nurse. Okay, so they are all in profession, and employee is person who is working under somebody. So what is the difference between the business, profession and employment? We'll come across. Before that, we'll just see what is business. Business refers to an economic activity which are concerned with production, purchase, sale or distribution of goods or supply of services with the aim of earning money or profit. So business is done with the only aim of earning money or earning profit. And in business, what are the things we do? Produce goods. Okay, then purchase raw materials, sell the goods, distribute the goods or supply services. Any kind of services, like travel agencies give the services telling all the types of places you can go in your vacations. Okay, so any kind of service that they are providing, they are doing it mainly to earn a living. Okay, and for profit. Okay, now examples of business is fishing, where there is production. Again farming, there's again production, cultivation by the farmer. Mining, okay, that is extraction of raw material. Again selling happens, so that is why it is business. Purchase, publishing a book by the publisher. So again when the publisher is selling the books, it becomes business. Okay, so any activity where you have purchase, sale, production, distribution of goods, it is termed as business activities. So you should have production, purchase, sale, distribution, etc. Now what is profession? When I say profession, you should keep in mind the doctors, okay, who are having expertise knowledge. So what is profession? Profession may be defined as an economic activity that require special knowledge and skill to applied by individuals at their work to earn income. So a professional needs to have a special knowledge, then only he can become a professional. And these are the skills that he is applying so to earn a living. So what is guiding the professional is a professional body, children. Like when you talk about the lawyers, they are having a bar council. Okay, which guide them what should they do and what should they not. Okay, likewise the professionals are guided by professional bodies. So the individuals involved in professions are called professionals. In every professional, guidelines or code of conduct. What is code of conduct? What to do and what not to do is laid down by professional bodies. A group of individuals of the same profession have to be adhered to. For example, chartered accountants are in accounting profession and have to adhere to the codes of conduct or rules set by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. So what is the professional body for chartered accountant? Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Okay, so whatever the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India says, the professional, the chartered accountant has to follow it. Okay, so then all, and he has to accept the rules. Likewise, similarly, doctors are professionals and engage in medical profession, and they are governed by Medical Council of India. So the professional body governing the doctors are Medical Council of India. They tell about the codes of conduct of the doctor. What are the do's and don'ts of a doctor? You must be knowing that there are certain things that doctors do not have to do. like detecting that is gender when the child is in the womb of the mother. Okay, so these are decided by the Medical Council of India. Okay, so next, what is employment? It is defined as an economic activity in which people work for others, okay, and earn a remuneration or salary in return. Okay, the person who are employed by the others is known as employee, and the employee is the one who offers job. So employee, the person who is working under the owner, and employer is the one who is offering the job. So employee, worker, and the employer is the, that is the owner of the company, like that. So examples here you can see: person who works in bank receives salary, working as a nurse doctor in a hospital. Okay, so working of doctor nurse in their own chamber is profession, but if they are working in a hospital, that is employment, because they are earning a salary from there. Working as a labor in a factory, working in the banks, government departments, etc. Okay, so this is employment. So let us see the difference between the things. Okay, so mode of establishment, entrepreneur decision, and other legal formalities if necessary. So whatever the entrepreneur decides, if he wants to start a company today or he starts a business today, it is a decision of the businessman. So this is mode of establishment of the businessman. You can have a look here. But what about profession? Membership of a professional body. Just now I explained professional body. So a person, in order to be a professional, has to be a member of a professional body and has to have a certificate of practice. And what about employment? Appointment letter the person should have, and service agreement. Then only the person is going to be employed or established. Nature of work, provision of goods and services to the public. Business gives goods and services. And what does the doctor give? Rendering of personalized expert service they give. And what does the employee give? Performing work as per service contract or rules of service. So whatever work has been given to him, he is doing that work. That is what is his nature of work. Qualification for a businessman, there's no minimum qualification. Okay, you can do business with any kind of qualification or not even with any qualification. Okay, but when you have to be a professional, you have to be qualified, expertise you should have, training you should have. Okay, then qualification and training as prescribed by the employer. Whatever work employer says that you should be qualified, you should be qualified in that particular thing. Then reward or return. Profit is the reward that the businessman gets. Professional fees is the reward that the professional person gets. Salary is the reward that the employee gets. Capital investment, the businessman has to invest capital, okay, required as per the size. Bigger the company, bigger will be his investment. Smaller the company, smaller will be his investment. But in profession, you need limited capital needs for establishment. Not much, limited capital needs. You need a chamber, you need the equipments that is required there. Then no capital required in case of employment. Okay, so employment, just he is got to be qualified and he has to join. No capital is required to be given. Next is risk. Profit are uncertain. In business, profits are uncertain, children. The businessman may have profit, may not have profit. This is very uncertain according to the environment that he is doing business in. Then fees is generally regular in profession. When we go to the doctor, we give fees, so it is generally regular, but sometimes there are risks. Okay, but in when we talk about employment, fixed and regular pay, no or little risk. Then we are having transfer of interest. What is transfer of interest, children? Transfer of interest means, can you appoint someone else on your behalf? So in business, is it possible that a businessman is moving out and he can give to his it is possible. So transfer possible with some formalities. So businessman can transfer with some formalities, but in profession it cannot happen because the person cannot, a doctor cannot give his that is place to another, that is his son or daughter who is not qualified. So he cannot shift his that is his qualifications and all that to another person. So that is, transfer is not possible here. Also employee also cannot transfer his work to somebody else. Okay, so not possible. So transfer possible with only, that is, business. Code of conduct, no code of conduct is prescribed. Just now I told you about the code of conduct, children, in details. Professional code of conduct is to be followed. Norms of behavior laid down by the employees are the code of conduct. Whatever the employer is telling will become the norms or rules that is to be followed by the employees in the employment. Okay, then example, shop, factory. Example here is legal, medical, professional, chartered. Okay, so these are the things. Then jobs in banks, insurance companies, etc. So this is it, all of you. So this is the difference between business, profession and employment. Okay, so thank you, all of you. In this particular clip, children, you should know what are the types of human activities, what is the definition of economic activity, what is the definition of non-economic activity, their examples you should know. Then you should know the business definition, profession definition, and also employment definition, and the difference between business, profession and employment you should know. Okay, and small little things of, that is, transport you should know, just a reading you can give. Okay, but these are the definitions that you are supposed to know. Okay, so thank you to all of you. Have a nice day.